favorite country that you visited?
Like I said, I think it was Australia, just because of just the people. I mean, the people were so hospitable, and they made us feel welcome. You know, being so far away from home, you know, being 18 years old, it was so refreshing to feel like, wow, these people really care about us. And unfortunately, it's not every country feels that way. Actually, there were times when we went out to Liberty that our command, our ship would say, you know what, you guys, we don't want you guys to go out in uniform. And I'm sure you probably know why. Things have changed, you know, people, unfortunately, other nations, other countries don't view us as favorably as some other countries do, but definitely Australia would be one of my favorite places. Yes?
What rank did you become in the Navy?
My rank was E4. Basically, you start off as an E1, and you E2, E3, E4, and so forth. So, you know, for 4 years, that's not too bad. You know, maybe if I would have decided to stay in, obviously I would have, you know, come up in rank a little bit more, but I was an E4. Electrician, made 3rd class petty officer. Yes?
How did you deal with being homesick?
Great question. I knew you would come up with that. You know what? I never really did. I think besides obviously going out to sea a lot, like I said, that was probably one of the reasons. But the biggest reasons, and this is the God honest truth, was because I got homesick. You know, being 18 years old and going off to the military for 2 months to a recruit training command, and then after that, either going to a school or sent out to a ship. It's a scary thing. You know, I was never away from home for that long period of time, and you know what, I would come visit my parents, you know, or my parents and my family maybe once or twice a year, but I never really truly got over being homesick. I think that's probably a tribute to my parents instilling us that bond that we had, and that was pretty much the reason why I did get out, because I did. I never got used to the fact of being away from my family, but thank you, that's a great question. Yes?
If you had the opportunity to join another branch of the military, would you?
You know, probably a lot of people would say, I'll be a Marine, but you know what, no. I think God gave me this calling, and I would, probably the only thing differently that I would probably do was get in shape a little bit and maybe become try to go out for the special warfare, special forces, would be a Navy SEAL. But no, I think the Navy, in my personal opinion, was a place where, a branch where if you were stationed either on the West Coast or the East Coast of the country, you got to do a lot of travel. And you know what? Besides meeting such extraordinary people, that was the best thing in the military. The second best thing was obviously to travel, to see the world. So I definitely would, if I had to do it over again, I would join the Navy. Yes?
What was the weirdest bug you've ever seen on your travel?
I'm sorry, what was the weirdest what?
Like, what's the weirdest animal you've ever seen on your travel?
You know what, those koala bears, everyone thinks they're kind of cute, but I really don't think, they're actually kind of scary. Kangaroos too, watch out for those kangaroos, because you get near their babies, forget about it. But yeah, koala bears, I never really thought they were that cute and fuzzy, but yeah, I saw all kinds of stuff, but you know, the animals were one of the things I kind of stayed away. I kind of did other things that I really want to talk about too much, but yes?
What was the worst sickness that anyone got on your ship?
You know, besides being homesick, I think just, you know, getting sick, just think about it. You're on a ship for 6 months, and you get all kinds of ailments. You know, you get seasick. You just got to remember that, you know, you can't go to the doctor, to a hospital. So I think just for me personally, it was just getting over that seasickness. I have to briefly give you the story. I know we're kind of running out of time, but after I got out of the service, I remember my parents were so excited to spend some time with me, and we all decided to go up to good old Wisconsin Dells. And you know, I was like, yeah, sure. You know, I was kind of looking forward to spending time with my family. And sure enough, the first thing my parents knew was to get some tickets to go on the famous Wisconsin duck boats. I was like, are you kidding me? I've been on a boat for 3 years, on a ship actually, and now my parents, I'll never forget, they're so excited. Oh, son, come on, let's go on the boat. And I'm just like, really? Wasn't too cool, but yeah. Any other questions? Yes, you in the back. Yes, yes. You know what? Surprisingly, food in boot camp, terrible. Terrible. I think they did that on purpose. I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I was constipated for like weeks, for a week actually. But actually on the ship, really good food. I mean, those cooks really took good care of us. We burgers, lasagna, lobster, all kinds of good food, steak. It's surprisingly, you talk to other service members, whether Marines that are detached on our ship or Army, Air Force, that they have Marines that come on our ship, and they'll say the same thing. Definitely, without a doubt, the food is really good on the ship. And you know what, things have changed. I was in the military in the 1990s, you know, we didn't even have cell phones. We had none of that stuff. Now, it is probably the Love Boat now, but it's great. Anybody else? Yes, miss? Again, you know, like I tried to explain, I didn't really know what I wanted to do after high school. You know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to school, but I just felt that, you know, try it out. I looked into it, and I think I made the right decision. And I hope that whatever all of you decide is that you talk to your parents. That's the first thing, and that you see your options. All of you have options. We, myself included, and all your wonderful teachers expect so much for you. And we know that if you work hard, that there's nothing in this world that you can't accomplish. So we're your #1 fans, and we want you to succeed in life. A couple more questions. Yes, sir?
What time did you retire from the Navy?
I didn't retire, actually, but I'm sorry, what was the last part?
What time did you retire from the Navy?
What time or what year? Or?
What year?
In 1994, September 24, 1994. I served 4 years in active Navy. Two more questions. Yes, sir?
During your time in the Navy,
Yes.
what was the most disgusting food you ate?
You know what? That's really interesting. Actually, sometimes, you know, because of, you know, what's going on, you know, there's a war going on, you know, we didn't always necessarily get the fresh food, like, so to speak, but, you know, just some food that kind of leftovers that, you know, they're saying that it's supposed to be meatloaf, but it's actually crawling. It's like, so, but that was very far and few between. We normally got really good food. One last question. Yes, miss, you in the pink.
Do you consider yourself a hero?
No, I do not. I do not. I'm no one special. I think the Lord gave me a calling, and this was what I was supposed to do. Not only to join the military, but now be a public servant for all of you as a police officer. But no, I don't. The people I consider special are the people. Where are the teachers? Can the teachers please stand up, please? Please, teachers, stand up and be recognized. Those are the true heroes. Those are the heroes. Because they are here for only one reason, for you, to better you. I always tell Mateo, and Mateo and I have this talk all the time. I'm not a hero. Your teachers are your heroes. And we need to support them, we need to respect them, and understand that sometimes we may not agree with them, but we know that their only intention is to help us to become the best students, the best persons we can be. So thank you, teachers, for everything. Thank you. Again, my name is Jose Mendez, and it's been a pleasure to spend some time with you. And God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.
All right, the batteries just died in the microphone, so I apologize about that. We're going to close up this activity. If we get the guys to stop horsing around over there. One quick message that I have for you before I get started is once I complete, please wait to be seated after all of the music components are completed, and we will dismiss you in a specific order. So your presence here today, at the time that all the people are gathering across the world, across America as well, is a tribute to our troops and their families. It is the very way to say, we remember. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter of Valley Forge, to the doughboys who crouched in their muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the hazy jungles of Vietnam, to the young men and women patrolling the mountains of Afghanistan. We remember and honor them all. 7.3% of Americans can claim the title veteran. For less than 1% of our population currently defending us in the global war on terrorism. Veterans have given us freedom, security, and the greatest nation on earth. It is impossible to put a price on their sacrifices. So I leave you today with one last quote. If you take one thing away from the stuff that the gentleman talked about today, please remember that all veterans gave some, and some veterans gave all. Thank you for your participation today. Let's give them one more round of applause.
For the yearbook, if I take your picture and your son and your husband together.
And now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Pendola and the music department to end it. Okay, first of all, thank you for coming. We're going to dismiss our fifth graders first, so if our fifth graders can line up, follow Mr. Zerzan out to my left.